Hello everyone, Taylor here, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on Thor Ragnarok. I wasn't planning on seeing it last night for preview night, but I did get to go see it, which I was really excited about, and I'm just going to start off by saying that I love the first Thor movie. I feel like it's really underrated and not enough people talk about it, and I love it. The second one, I really don't remember too much of what happened in it. I'm part of that club that's not really a huge fan of that movie. I didn't think it was awful, but clearly if I can't really remember anything about it, I didn't think it was that great. But this movie, Ragnarok, is my favorite Thor movie now. It took over the #1 spot from the first Thor movie. And wow, where do I even start? So I'm going to start by saying this is a spoiler review. So please don't watch this unless you've seen the movie, because I avoided every spoiler I could other than watching the trailers before I saw the movie. And I'm really glad that I did, because it was great going into it really not knowing what I was going into. That being said, I'm going to start with the opening. I really liked the opening scene. I thought comedically it was a great way to set the tone for the movie. When Thor was just spinning and kept having to stop the conversation, I thought that was great. I wasn't sure how I felt about the music. I love the song and I think it's a great fit for the movie, but I wasn't sure what kind of tone that was going to set. Didn't want it to just be kind of like a Suicide Squad situation where it was just a giant music video. Thankfully it was not. But yeah, so man, it's such a good movie. I don't even know where to start. Doctor Strange, the way that they put his character into the movie fit in really nicely. I really enjoyed that. He wasn't in the movie for very long, probably like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. But it was great. In those 5 minutes, you just see how powerful he is, and his skill level and everything is just, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see Infinity War and really see what he brings to the table. Seeing Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston on the same screen made me really happy, in a Marvel movie nonetheless. Tom Hiddleston, Loki's line about falling for 30 minutes was hysterical. I really loved, one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie was the play when Loki is posing as Odin, just sitting there eating fruit, and there's a play going on of Loki's death scene from the Dark World, and it seemed like fan fiction come to life to me, that scene, and it was so freaking awesome. Like, just, that's such a Loki thing to do, is put on a play in the honor of his own death. And the cast of the play, dude, like, come on. Matt Damon as Loki, I would never, ever have guessed that was gonna happen in a bajillion years, and it was hilarious. That was just, I love it. I love it so much, especially with Chris Hemsworth's brother playing Thor in the play. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Luke Hemsworth, I think. But yeah, that was great. That whole scene was just awesome. I'm just so glad that that's actually a thing in the real world canon of the Marvel Universe. Because like I said, that's like straight, to me at least, that's like straight out of fan fiction. So that was great. I loved Tessa Thompson throughout this entire movie. She just kicked so much ass. Her character was awesome. Like, when we first meet her and she's just drunk and like falling all over the place, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Her chemistry with the cast is really great. I'm really hoping that they use her well moving forward in the universe. I really don't want to see her disappear after this. The Valkyrie scene with her character and then the rest of the Valkyrie and Hela was beautiful. That was some of the most beautiful film imagery I've ever seen. It looked like a moving painting. That scene just gave me chills because of how visually striking that was. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite scenes, just because it took my breath away just looking at how it was executed, and just the aesthetics of the whole scene was incredible. I really liked Jeff Goldblum. He was perfect for this role. I didn't really know what to expect out of his role in this film, how big of a role it was going to be, but it was amazing. The comedic timing was fantastic with his character. Just the character itself added a layer to the movie that was great. It really made the world they were on believable. It was a beautiful world that was created specifically for that. Just everything about it. It had great colors and it looked believable, but it also looked well lived in, which I think is great. So that was great. What else? I really enjoyed Bruce Banner, us getting to see more Mark Ruffalo in this movie. It's something I've been hoping for a really long time, because I think that he does a fantastic job playing the Hulk. I'm interested to see what happens with him in Infinity War, because of all the times they referenced Natasha in regards to him in this movie, so that'll be really interesting to see what happens there. But I thought he did a great job. I really liked us getting to see him live in the Hulk for a while and see what that looks like. His banter with Thor when they were sharing that room was hilarious. They bounce off each other so well, both of them, with their comedic timing. I really, really loved Taika Waititi's character. Oh my gosh. Hysterical. Those were some of the funniest lines in the entire movie. And the voice that Taika did for that character just made it so much better. But he definitely stole the show a little bit, with those revolution pamphlet lines that he had, and just everything about that character just made me smile. And we were just laughing so hard in the theater anytime that he was on screen. So that was a real treat, and I'm really, really glad that was a part of the movie. I was really sad to see that Fandral was in the movie for 0.2 seconds. I mean, I had a feeling that the Warriors 3 were going to die, unfortunately, because they've always been a big staple of the Thor part of the Marvel Universe, and I was really hoping to see them in Infinity War, even just like small cameos. But I don't know, I wish I would have gotten to see more of them getting to fight beside Thor trying to save Asgard. But I mean, I guess seeing Zachary Levi's face for 0.2 seconds is better than nothing. So, I mean, I was kind of upset about that, but it's not the biggest deal in the world, I guess. Carl Urban did a fantastic job in this movie. I kind of liked the way his character was always gray. He didn't really have evil intentions, but he also wasn't, always trying to be good. And at the end, I really liked how he stepped up and did what he had to do to protect the people of Asgard. I thought that was really great. Carl Urban did a great job with the role. Hela, I thought was good. I know that there isn't much argument whether or not Cate Blanchett did a good job, because she did. She was amazing. I know there's debate whether or not she was a great villain or not. I do wish we would have gotten a little more time with her, but I did really like the part she played. I liked how she served the story, even though it could have been a little bit more, but I thought she was great, and I do hope that we see her back in Infinity War. I hope she ends up teaming up with Thanos somehow. So we'll have to see what happens with that, I suppose. And who else? Who am I forgetting? Odin. I was a little disappointed that we didn't really get too much closure with Odin. He just kind of died, and there wasn't really I understand there wasn't really much time for Loki and Thor to react, because as soon as it happened, Hela shows up and just starts wreaking havoc and wrecking things, and maybe that's just how it was emotionally for the whole movie. Maybe Thor and Loki really just needed to push it out of their minds and not think about it and focus on trying to save Asgard, and maybe, hopefully, we'll see some of the fallout emotionally for them in Infinity War. Maybe they'll have a second to kind of breathe and grieve about it, but I would have liked to see a little bit more of that at the end of the movie when they're all on the ship, especially that scene with the two of them alone. It would have been nice to actually have a little bit more come out of that, but I'd like to think that it was just they were so, throughout the rest of the movie, they were just so trying not to think about it and trying to think about saving Asgard. But it is what it is. Movies have weak points sometimes, and I feel like that was a little bit of a weaker point. But overall, I was laughing so hard the entire movie. It just really made me laugh. I love Waititi's humor. I thought all the actors did a great job with the material. I really liked that they did a little bit of a callback to the Avengers, where Thor's getting thrown around by Hulk the way that Loki did, and how Loki was excited that someone else knew how it felt. That was really funny. One of my favorite scenes that I laughed really hard at was the get help when he just freaking throws Loki at them, and then when they're facing Hela and he's like, "We're not doing get help." The part where Thor just falls out of the ship and Fenris is just kind of nudging him because he didn't turn into the Hulk. I don't know, I just really thought it was a funny movie, and that brings me to my next point. I know a lot of people hate on Marvel for being too funny, too comedic, too much for kids, but I don't really believe that's true. I like my Marvel movies to have comedy to them. I think it's realistic. I don't think that the Marvel Universe exists without comedy. I just don't. And I think that for the most part, most of the movies are able to balance out the seriousness of the comedy, and sometimes one is more heavy-handed than the other, and sometimes it isn't 100% balanced the way that people would like it to be. But I like the comedy. I think it serves the stories very, very well. I think it is natural to a lot of the characters to be that way. This movie in particular, I thought it was great. I think having the comedy of the Grand Master, of Jeff Goldblum's character, really made it believable for him to have this huge personality like that, just to kind of bring up the grandeur and bring up the believability that someone that big would be able to hold that position just because of this huge personality and the charisma and just this outlandishness. So I thought it served it really well. I really liked Thor kind of embracing his comedic side a little more. Chris Hemsworth does great with comedic timing, so that was really nice to see that. Loki was good. He had some good comedy moments in there with the things he was saying. I don't know. I don't see the problem with Marvel putting out fun comedic movies. And I don't think that they're just for kids, even though they do have comedy in them that kids, I think, can enjoy. I mean, there were definitely some jokes and some lines in Ragnarok that are not for children. They're funny, but I really hope children didn't understand some of them. So I don't know. I don't think that Marvel movies are made just for kids or just for older audiences. I think they're made for both, and I think large age ranges can enjoy them. So I personally don't think them being fun or funny is bad. That's just my opinion, but I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people like to rip on Marvel movies for being fun and being funny and being entertaining in that way. But I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really great. I thought Taika did an amazing job with it. And like I said, it had its issues, and most movies do have their issues, but they weren't issues that pulled me out of the story. they were more issues when I sat down to think about it later. I was like, okay, maybe this could have been done better, and maybe I would have liked to see this. But there was nothing in the movie where I was like, ooh, that's really bothering me and is really going to take me out of this movie and keep me from enjoying it the way that I want to. So I thought it was a great way to kind of set up for Infinity War, as far as like what Thor's been up to and Banner and all this stuff, and kind of where they're at when we're going to be starting off with Infinity War. So I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a great time. I definitely want to go see it again before it gets out of theaters. But like I said, all the actors did a great job. I was really honestly just excited to see Tom Hiddleston. I think he's fantastic, and I know a lot of the ladies are like there for Thor to see like Thor, and he's an attractive guy, but I mean, if I have to pick one to stare at, it's gonna be Loki. So it was really nice to see him back as a pretty prominent figure in this movie. I really think that because Tom Hiddleston lives in this character so well and is able to bring just this really unique element to the character of being mischievous, but of also being charming and being slimy and being all these things, and being able to really, you know, not only physically transform himself, but just to kind of transform the character where you don't really know what he's gonna do, and he just has this air about him that's really, really intriguing. And I think that Loki has lasted in the cinematic universe as long as he has, largely in part because of what Tom brings to the role, which like I said, 100% I'm all about that. On a side note, if any of you have Tom Hiddleston connections, let me know. Love to interview him on the channel. Definitely not actually going to happen, but I'm going to throw that out there to the universe, and if something comes out of it, I will be so freaking stoked. Anyway, please let me know what you guys thought of the movie. I really hope you guys didn't watch this if you haven't seen it. So if you have seen it, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it? What were your favorite parts? Were there parts you maybe didn't like so much? Just let me know. I don't really usually rate movies on a scale because I feel like I'm really bad at that. But I guess if I had to give this one a rating now, probably give it about an 8.5, maybe a 9, somewhere in that range, because I really, really did enjoy it a lot, and I would absolutely go see it again. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the movie, and I will see you all next time.